Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. What does a father of 3 kids,
father of 5,
father of 2,
have to say about what's going on in the world today? Find out in
3, 2.
Kick it!
You want to know something funny? The name of our song, intro music,
Yeah,
Black Mamba.
that's correct.
The name of the album that it's on, Man in the Arena. Thought that was pretty interesting.
Very good.
We knew what was going on before we knew what was going on.
So we didn't know what was going on.
There is something to this podcast. We just haven't figured it out yet.
That's right.
We're-
Maybe you'll figure it out for us.
We're so close. Eventually, it's gonna connect.
Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. I'm your host, Chet Sears. With me as always.
Thank you. Goodness gracious! Every time I listen to this podcast, and as with me always,
We're getting there.
we're so close. Chet finally made
Hey,
a connection.
hey,
Maybe this is where
Settle down.
this
With
is where
me,
it takes,
as always, is Troy Trussell. And unfortunately,
Here.
with me today, is
evening.
Matt Amos.
Yeah.
Good grief. It's going to be an interesting episode because Matt is apparently trying to get me on tilt.
Tilt.
And
Tilt.
we're going to hear what's on Troy's mind. We're going to have our top 3 life hacks / tips.
Which we've done before, right? So this is
No, we got like best advice given to us. I don't think it was this.
I think we've done hacks.
I don't know.
Well, they'll be different, I'm sure.
They're different because I mean you continually learn. These are what I've learned since.
Whatever. Why don't you learn how to go back through our
V1.
show notes and find out if we've done this
I
before?
probably should.
And Matt's going to close us out with a good word. He's going to have to change his attitude before the end of this podcast. before we get
Got
there.
it.
Hey, you've been working on a blog for our podcast, right?
It's on our website. We go back all the episodes with show notes, and you can listen to the episode from there.
Yeah.
Hardheadedpodcast.com.
Yeah. So if anybody wanted to go search for a certain thing in an episode, they
It's
could
easy
go
to
to
find.
the website.
It's easy to find for the first year and a half.
Yeah. So there
Yeah.
you go, Matt. If you ever want to go back and
Plug
look.
it into the website.
Yeah.
There you go, man. All right, Troy, what's on your mind?
Here we go, boys.
All right. So this movie, I want to talk about this movie that's apparently it caused an uproar when it came out. I had no idea because my wife just said, "Oh, that looks like a fun, interesting
That's how they get you.
thriller or whatever."
Not knowing what's going on in the world and just, oh, that looks fun.
That's right. So it's called Leave the World Behind. I think we mentioned it on the show before.
Yeah, you brought it up.
Yeah. So
And you didn't know it was produced by the Obamas.
the Obamas. No, I
Right.
didn't. So I did a little research on this.
Boo this man. Go ahead.
And I told, okay.
Boo Obama.
Well, the premise behind the movie, I mean, let's get into it because I think was your research me telling you about it?
No, I went and did some more.
Because I piqued your interest with the whole racial undertones.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But I went and rewatched the movie as well. But so
Have you seen the movie?
Yes.
Okay, I have not. I haven't seen it.
okay, so it was based on a 2020 novel of the same name, Leave the World Behind. It's a sci-fi adaptation. It's directed by the guy who created Mr. Robot, Sam Esmail.
And that's a TV series that has the guy that was
the guy that played Bohemian Rhapsody guy.
Yeah, he played,
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie
Fred
Mercury.
Mercury. Yeah.
he's in some good stuff.
Yeah, he is. Mr. Robot,
Mm-hmm.
3 episodes in, I had to leave it.
Okay.
There's a scene in there.
I got 1 episode in.
Well, I got 3
And
in.
I just wasn't interested.
I was very interested. I thought the first 2 episodes were fantastic. I think maybe it was the second episode. There was a gay porn scene basically. So
gosh.
I had to bail out really fast. So anyway, Sam Esmail, I think is how you say his name. He directed this movie. He made a few changes from the novel. So if you're familiar with the novel, the plot remains pretty much the same. It's basically 2 families have to come together and rely on each other for survival. So,
Yeah.
And it happens. The movie's kind of, I'm probably going to give some spoilers if you hadn't seen it, but we do that all the time here on the Hardheaded podcast because we just don't care.
Yeah. And it's been out for like a year or two.
Yeah.
How long has that movie
I don't
been
think
out?
it's been out a year, but it's
Oh,
been
okay.
out,
A long time.
yeah, a while. If you haven't seen it now, then
Tough luck.
yeah.
It's like you can't spoil a movie that's like out on VHS. Remember back in the day?
Right. Oh,
Once
yeah.
it comes out, it's fair game. And now if it's digital, you got like a weekend. And then,
Yeah, then you're done.
then you're done.
Yeah, forget about it. So, as you're watching the movie, I couldn't figure out if it was like going to be apocalyptic, if it's going to be zombies or what's happening. And throughout the movie, you're trying to figure out what's going on, kind of like the people in the movie are trying to figure out what's going
Now,
on.
what happened? They just like lost power?
So it starts, and Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke, they're married. They have 2 kids. They decide to get away for the weekend. And she planned this trip to go to this really nice Airbnb to just get away, get out of the city,
Yeah.
and get away from it all for a little bit because she hates people. She figures that out.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty funny first scene. So then
And Matt was tracking right along with that.
Yes.
yeah. So they get to this house and they have a first day that's enjoyable,
Normal vacation
Yeah,
day.
kids are playing in the pool and everything, whatnot. And then at night, the doorbell rings, and it's the other 2 people, which is not a full family. It's just a man and his daughter, and they happen to be African American.
I don't think so, Troy. No.
Hey, interject any time.
So they're sitting on the beach, and the ship.
Oh, that's right. The
So
whole
that
ship
was-
scene.
That
Yes.
was the initial something.
That's the initial something's going wrong. Yeah.
A ship ran aground.
Yeah. And they're on the beach. Yeah. Pretty cool scene. So they have
That was pretty neat.
they have to run because the ship just keeps coming. And then they run back to the house and they're trying to figure out what's going on.
And then that night,
And then that night, that's when the doorbell rings.
Okay.
So doorbell rings and they come in and there's this confrontation with,
It's like a stranger at the door.
yeah.
Like, what are you doing here?
But it ends up, they admit like this is our house and we don't know what's going on. We just came here because this is the first place that we thought to come to,
Yeah.
where it would be safe. And so then the movie starts like
that's
the confrontation.
That's when the play on current racial tensions kicks off, because you get the feeling that the Julia Roberts and her husband, I can't even remember her name in the movie,
I can't either.
but it's not overt. They don't come out and say it, but the undertones are. It's because this black family comes up to this nice house, and then these white people don't believe them.
And then the article I read said that the black family was like, you can't trust white people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never trust Whitey.
But I never got that.
The first time you watched it.
I didn't get it the second time I watched it.
Oh, I
okay.
got the whole thing the whole time. Yeah.
So you're desensitized.
I must be, but I didn't get.
I picked up on.
I mean, I see that there's a black family, a white family, but I
Yeah.
just didn't.
Feel the tension.
I didn't feel the tension now I felt the tension on, there's one scene where the man who owns the house is hitting, basically they have he's not really hitting on her, but he is. And he and Julia Roberts' character have a little bit too much to drink. And there's this weird element of emotions going on
Yeah.
while they're playing some records and stuff. And her husband is with the kids, or he's just not with them, but they're all in the same house.
Right.
Now I felt some weirdness there
Yeah.
with what was going on. But as far as the whole racial stuff, I honestly didn't pick up on it.
Okay.
And I didn't feel it being portrayed as that.
Oh, I did. 100%.
Like it was the articles that you brought up in the media.
That's dang near what turned me off to even watch it. Finishing the thing was just, and I didn't know at the time the Obamas produced it,
Yeah.
but I now I get why that was in there so heavily. But it's weird that you didn't pick up on that being as into like film and production and all that kind of stuff and telling stories with how you do. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I tried not to see that. maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe Matt's just more of a skeptic than you.
maybe so.
Well, I mean, but it was just like, when they came up and dude's like, well, this is my house. And they made it like to where she was talking. It's like, well, there's no way you could afford this house. And it was wording kind of like she didn't think that they made the type of money that this would be his house. And it was a judgment based on their color, not on, not on them as people. I'm like, why? Who in this world says that?
Right.
In this day and age, I mean, I don't get that. That would not be a conversation that would happen. Like, oh, you're the wrong color to own this house.
Typically, the people that would say that also can't afford that house as a Airbnb.
But I don't know if she, I didn't even really hear any racial slurs like that.
No, there was no slurs. It was all undertones. It was basically, well, you can't afford this. And then it was, they wanted you to infer it was because of their color.
Yeah.
Maybe I read into it too,
I could see that, but from what I got from...
You were focused on the prepping part of it and like, what's going to happen next?
Well...
Did we ever find out what happened?
Yeah, you do at the very... Well, you don't find out, but it's...
The apocalypse?
It is, but they never find out.
It's a certain type of apocalypse.
They never find out how.
It's like a virus or an electrical thing or...
You just basically lose...
Does everybody die?
Let's call it like an EMP. So all of your electronics are just shocked. So I'm still waiting for the movie to come out 1 second after. I'm waiting for that movie.
They're not going to make that.
That movie would be awesome.
That movie would send the world into a panic.
It'd be the War of the Worlds Part 2.
No, this is like legit.
What movie is that?
It's not a movie.
It's not a movie. It's a book. 1 second after.
1 second after. Don't read it.
Have y'all both read it?
I've got 2 copies. I'll let you borrow one.
I've got to now.
No.
Why are they not going to make it a movie?
It's too real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, dude,
There's a lot of people that read that book that go, that book is spot on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, from a societal breakdown, everything. Like,
yeah.
It shook me.
But I thought one of the cool parts of that movie was, one that you didn't think about was all of the like the Teslas and all the cars that are hooked up.
That was a cool scene.
So all the Teslas, not technically Teslas, but whatever car,
all the electric cars,
the electric cars of a certain company that looked the same, all went home to their place of production, and so they were all just lined up.
On the highway.
On the highway, they were just zooming in and crashing into each other, trying to go to the home, and not stopping. And
with people in it.
No, I didn't see any people in the
cars.
No,
there weren't any people in there. But there was scene, Ethan Hawke's got to get out. They got to get away so they don't get crashed, which is pretty cool. But yeah, as far as all the racial undertones, I didn't pick up on it. I did pick up on the fact that she was really scared letting this guy in this house.
Letting this black guy in her house.
Yeah.
And did they prove that he was actually the homeowner?
There was pictures and stuff. I think that
he had a key to the very first thing. He had a key to the liquor cabinet. She was like, well, he could be the servant or the help.
Again, he could be the help.
And I get that, but I don't know. I just didn't read into it like that.
I did. Well, maybe I'm just more cynical.
So why'd you watch it again? Just to see about the racial undertones, or did you get some prepping advice?
I mean, there's no prepping advice in it. It just, the movie's like, if this goes down, you need to be ready. So that's what kind of started Hannah and I talking about, man, if this stuff happened, we're dead in a month.
Yeah.
So we started,
right,
making a list and starting to.
So I will tell you that what's going to happen if you read 1 second after.
Let's hear it.
You are not prepared. I don't care what you've done.
Right.
You are not prepared. I'm not prepared. It is. Could you imagine not having enough places to bury people?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, is this the book you said that like golf courses?
yep.
Yeah. Gotta start.
Burying people on golf courses because it was easier to hand dig there. And your medication, like, you're off of it, but what if you're on it? Like, what if you've got, how many people are in psych meds out there right now?
Oh,
Gone. No access, no production, no place to get it, no doctors. I mean, all the people on heart meds dead. Like it's just, dude. That's not even talking about like people with ill intent, which no police force, no government, no. I mean, it's no wild game after a few months because all the rednecks go out and just shoot all the deer and they're all dead. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's probably what's all going to happen. There's no, whatever plan you think you've got, I don't think it's going to, if it goes all the way. And that was just an EMP, like that every electronic device in the U.S. basically.
Is that what the disaster is?
Yeah.
In that book?
It was an attack.
Yeah.
That's what it is 1 second after the EMP.
Yeah.
That's the name of it.
Mm.
Yep.
But I mean, and it's all, as good as that book is, I mean, there'd be a collapse and there would be a lot of that stuff. But I think a lot of those services, you'd find those people that would wrangle a society, start providing services and have access, and trading and bartering becomes.
Well, that's what they were doing. That's what they did, and they had the reservoir and they were trading water to a town down the mountain with their resources, but they were going to get an army built up and come and conquer this town so they can have access to the water without having to barter. I'm telling you, dude.
Right. I mean, you're going back to third world, ancient.
But you're doing it from a people group that has never dealt with that kind of mental.
I get it. Well, there's going to be a lot of dead for sure.
Oh yeah.
But nobody's going to go out. I mean, they're the whole wild game and shooting all the deer. I don't buy that because there's 300 million people in America and there's probably 30 million deer in Kansas.
30 million deer in Kansas.
Or 30 million deer, there's
there's not that many in Kansas, folks.
No, I mean,
yeah. Don't come here looking for 30 million deer hunters.
Not in Kansas, but
yeah.
Like
stay away.
Nationwide, I think there's more deer than you think. And
I'm telling
there's
you,
more wild game and
it ain't gonna happen.
Plus fish.
It's not like you're going, I'm going to go out for a walkabout and walk to Montana and shoot a deer and come back. It's where you're walking.
Yeah.
You're going to wipe out all the game around every population center. And then you're going to have to go further out, and then you're going to be gone for days. And then how are you going to preserve all that meat coming back?
You talk about population center, but those people got to get out to you. So it's.
Yeah. Okay, mister. It's not going to be that bad.
I'm not saying it's not going to be bad. It's going to be, I have electronic legs, so it's not going to be preferable for sure.
Hey, you have an electronic leg.
Yeah.
Don't oversell it. I'm kidding.
Although if the EMP, does happen, I hope it just fries it completely and it just goes into free swing. Then I could just save time instead of peg legging for about a day. Because that's really going to wear me out in my process.
If it's free swinging?
No, if it's
locked.
Yeah. So I hope it just kills it and it just goes into free swing because then I'll walk normal.
Yeah. Okay.
What are the effects of an EMP on the human body?
Nothing.
No. Because it's a wave thing, right?
Electromagnetic pulse.
It's just a pulse that goes
of
out.
Electromagnetism.
Okay.
So it interferes with electronic devices, circuit boards, processing chips, like the computer chip that manages your fuel injection on your car.
So it doesn't do anything to the human body like they're saying cell phones does to if you hold it by your head long periods of time, over a year, 5 years, you'll get a tumor or something. Yeah.
I don't think so. And it's not necessary. So the way that you get one, like from an attack perspective, is using a nuclear device, but you set it off in space.
Right.
Over
a certain area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they shot it over Kansas, it would wipe out all of North America or just the U.S.? Or
depends on how big the blast is. I'm
Luke
not
is.
an expert here, but it depends.
Oppenheimer, come on, man.
We need.
I hadn't seen that one either.
Yeah, we need an expert on electromagnetic pulses
There's some
to
theories
come on the
that,
podcast. That would be kind of fun.
There's some theories that it's not going to get everything. But
No, I don't. It couldn't, and I don't think there are some theories that even some of these modern cars wouldn't be affected as much. And then there's
but that doesn't matter too because you're not going to have any gas.
well, how do you know that? I mean,
Oh, Quick Trip's going to be back up online. All the semis are going to work. The refinery's going to keep pumping.
no, but those that do are going to be the next Bill Gates and whatever.
Dude, those that do is going to turn into Dennis Hopper, and they're going to be going around in a cruise tanker ship with their jet ski pirates.
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, the movie Waterworld.
Oh,
Troy got it.
Yeah.
I've seen it once.
Yeah,
Kevin
Surprise.
Costner. Yeah. Anyway, that's what's been on my mind.
That's a lot of fun. I'm glad we're not going as deep as we could go there.
Why not?
I could ask Troy exactly what is it because he said he had a list. He didn't say he's completed anything on the list. And then we get into, well, what have I done, which I'm not telling anybody.
Oh yeah, I don't think we should get into all that.
Okay.
I think I would say just do your research and do what you think is going to be right for your family. I mean, if that's something that interests you, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do, but
There's plenty of literature.
there's
and
resources out there.
Crazy
YouTube
stuff.
videos, stuff out there that you can figure out.
And it's all basic. I mean, it all goes back to basic necessities and
Yeah.
how to achieve those basic necessities, and then how do you do that? And when you figure out food, water, shelter, those three things are your necessities. How do you gain those when you have nothing?
Yep.
You got to have something. All right. Well, good. Thank you, Troy.
You bet.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and talk about our top 3 life hacks.
At Admiral's Pennant, our mission is to offer the latest and refined, high-quality masculine products and services to the modern gentleman, as well as provide him with the tools and products necessary to look, act, and feel confident in his appearance and social interactions. Check it out at admiralspennant.com. Without it, you might as well shave. All right, what now?
Top 3 life hacks. You're going.
Oh,
first.
top 3 life hacks. Number 3, the Warthog V-Sharp A4 knife sharpener.
Warthog?
Yes, I've been, we've all got these, your little stone or whatever you're using to sharpen your knife. And
What is this? Is this one of those things that has the bar and you go,
Nope. Nope. This one is just on its own little stand.
and you just do this?
Yeah, but it's got springs that hold the tension on the stones as you're sliding the knife through.
They're stones and not bars?
They're bars.
Okay.
But they work so much better than
you go.
anything I've ever used.
Old Warthog knife sharpener.
How much does that cost?
About $100.
$94.99 on Amazon.
So I got it. I can't remember.
I got a rock.
So Ron bought this for me as a gift,
Yeah.
and I use that thing. It's so quick. I've got it in the kitchen. Butcher knife needs sharpened.
Yeah.
Good to go. And it gets it so much sharper than any of the other.
How many
knife
times you got to run it
sharpening.
through there?
I'd do 3.
That's it?
Yeah. It's quick. It works really, really well. I'm super impressed. I didn't think I would be. Super impressed by it.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a life hack device.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, but inferring, have a sharp knife.
Oh, heck yeah. Use one every day.
Yeah. Life hack number 2, because these don't relate to prepping, Troy. Life hack number 2.
Mine don't either, I promise.
All right. Is the 8-minute method to perfect rice and how to prevent your rice from boiling over.
Do tell. 8 minutes.
I'm
8
sorry.
minutes. So
How do you cook rice?
the perfect way to cook rice is, number 1, if you've got 2 cups of rice, you're going to do 4 cups of water. So you double
Well, yeah.
Okay. To prevent it from boiling over, instead, take one of those cups of water, toss it out. Add yourself a cup of chicken broth. your rice will not boil over with chicken broth.
I have done this before.
It tastes better with chicken broth.
It does, but it also prevents the water from boiling over.
Yeah.
So the 8-minute method, you let that water boil down till it's level with the top of the rice. Cover it, turn the heat on low, let it simmer for 8 minutes. Take it off the heat, turn off the heat, let it sit covered for 8 minutes. Rice is done.
That would be 16 minutes.
Perfect rice.
No, it's a lot more than 16 minutes because
I said
then you got to wait
you're
till
boiling the water off.
the 8-minute method. So it's 8 minutes, and then however long it takes you to boil it until it comes down.
How about I just do it my way?
The 36-minute.
20 minutes.
It's roughly about 20 minutes, but if you just remember 8.
Do you always do the 1-to-2 ratio?
Yes.
Oh, I don't.
Comes out perfect every time. I've never had an issue. And I wash the rice too. I know a lot of people don't, but
It depends on how much time I have. But
wash it.
I prefer washed rice for sure.
because then it doesn't stick
Right.
as much. And then number 1, and I just learned this recently. And I've been in construction. I've been a framer. I've done residential construction for 3 years.
Yeah.
Your tape measure on the tape measure has a width. It's written on the tape measure. It says this tape measure
Half
is
inch. Most of them are half inch.
No, the actual tape measure. So the whole body, and it'll say 3.5 inches.
Oh,
or
okay.
it'll
So
say
you can
4
just go
inches.
butt up against a wall.
So if I'm measuring,
You don't have to bend it.
You don't have to bend it. You just set it on there, and you measure it, and then you add 3.5 inches to it. I did not know that until it's common sense, right? It's like you look at it like duh.
Yeah.
But
Always
I didn't
bend it.
I didn't. I was like, I always go up and bend it. Like, no, just set it on the floor and.
Shimmy up.
But most of my tape measures are round on that end. So is it at the base of that or at where the apex of the?
It should be at the base. If it's written on.
Well, then you can't do it up against a wall because then you're hitting the.
What are you talking about?
Look, man, here, I'll sketch it out on your paper. Most tape, because the coil is round. It's flat across the top, and then it does this, and then it does that. So here versus here?
Yeah, it's where it's going to sit when you're measuring.
Yeah.
So it's going to sit
I'll have to try it. I almost grabbed
well,
this
and
We'll have to
if
try
it
it out.
doesn't, yours may not have. It may not be a good construction tape measure.
Stanley? You got someone against Stanley tools?
Stanley.
Craftsman?
Craftsman's good stuff.
I've got Craftsman. Stanley's owns Craftsman brand now, by the way.
Do they?
Pretty sure.
Are you okay?
Yeah, because Sears went under.
Yeah.
Not this Sears.
They all have.
All right, I'll go. Don't go into an establishment that doesn't have windows after dark. Life tip. So, typically that's a bar,
Casino.
a pool hall, a casino. There's nothing good that happens in those places. Jehovah's Witnesses, places of worship.
They don't have
They
windows?
don't have windows. There's no need to go into a building that was built intentionally without windows. Or if they came in later and like covered all the windows up,
Yeah.
like a bar would move into a place, you just don't go in there. Life tip. Don't do it. Nothing good's going to happen in there.
I like
It's
it.
not worth it. Number 2, don't trust a woman if you could see all of her iris in the eyeball.
You've talked about this one before.
Yeah.
That's a life tip hack right there.
Oh my
I
god.
apologize, women listening, but those first 2 right there were given to me by my dad, and they have proven true time and time again.
Yes.
That's a.
Crazy eyes.
And then I'm telling you, number 1, put your energy in things that will last. Don't put your energy in temporary things.
It's good.
My advice, life hack, life tip.
I like it.
All right,
It's good. Number 3, tape templates.
You're gonna have to explain that.
You can stretch out, like if you need to hang something, stretch out a piece of tape over each hole, make a mark on the holes that you gotta, on the thing that you're hanging. And
Okay.
then put the piece of tape on the wall, stick it to the wall, and then drill your holes, and it's perfect.
I'm still not tracking you here.
If you're going to hang something on a wall, like a picture or something.
Yeah.
You got 2 holes on each side of the frame.
That's a big picture. I do everything I can only to have one hole.
Well,
and I use the cable on the back of the picture because then you could adjust it to make it level.
Well, if you're hanging something larger,
like a TV,
it could work on a TV.
Yeah.
Those usually come with templates.
Okay.
But if you don't have a template, you just stretch a piece of tape across.
Like masking tape?
Painter's tape, masking tape, something like that. Tape it on the picture on the back side. Mark your holes on the actual frame.
Oh, okay.
On the object that you're going to place on the wall.
I get you. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark your holes, then stretch that on the wall. Drill your holes, hang it.
Because you can use your level for the tape.
Yep.
Because it's blind behind the picture because they're never at the top.
I learned this about 7 years ago. It changed my life.
All right. Okay.
You must be hanging a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
We've moved a lot.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We've moved a lot. Number 2, put a wooden spoon across a boiling pot
across
of water.
Across the child's backside when they don't put back.
That's another good use for it.
Wooden spoon over a pot of water. Both of you had water boiling over top life hacks.
Yep. The wooden spoon will keep it from boiling over.
It will not.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It doesn't for rice.
Well, because you have a lid on rice.
All right. Number 1, if you drink too much beer,
you get drunk.
Switch to seltzer water.
Oh.
Now, this is obviously beer drinkers across the world are not just going to switch to seltzer water overnight. I did it. It took a long time. But for me, seltzer water gives me the same sensations my body craves as a beer did.
Okay.
Which is the holding it, cracking it, taking that first sip
of Coke
bubbly carbonation. But Coke's full of sugar. You go from alcohol to a bunch of sugar.
Coke Zero.
No, not the same. If I'm going to drink Coke, I'm going to drink a Coke.
Do you drink seltzer water in place of chewing Copenhagen?
Nope.
No?
Well, no.
Huh?
Of course he doesn't, because it's not the same thing.
Well,
I would be like, do you buy the beef jerky stuff?
You're just trying to say like seltzer is like beer, but it's not.
Well, it's not the same thing, but it gives you the same sensations.
Drinking anything that's bubbly.
A Coke would work.
A Sprite.
But you can't drink like 6 Cokes in a sitting. You can drink 6 seltzer waters or 6 beers.
Are you saying I can't drink 6 Cokes?
Well, I bet you can. But that reminds me of a
like
story.
A challenge.
So one time in college, my buddy Trip, if you're listening, what's happening? We were playing a drinking game and card game. I don't remember which one, but he came over, wanted to hang out, and he didn't want to just sit there. He wanted to play. So he brought a 12-pack of Dr. Peppers.
Yeah.
And he got about 6 or 7 DPs in, and we were all drinking beer, and he hit the bathroom puking before any of us did.
No way.
Yeah. He did, man.
Watch out for the Dr. Peppers.
You can't drink that many that fast.
He had 23 ingredients a bunch of times over.
Right. 23 times 7.
All right.
Oh, man.
That's funny. I hope you found some value in this cooking episode of tips.
Hey, it's changed lives. I mean, I've cooked so much more rice since I learned that. Like, because I don't have to worry about it boiling over, and then I got a mess to clean up and shoot. And it does taste better with chicken broth, but I just never I'd never put 2 and 2 together that, why does my rice boil over sometimes and sometimes it doesn't? And then all of a sudden it was,
I put a half a stick of butter in mine too. Every time.
When you boil it?
Mm-hmm.
I do that after it's done. When it's steaming, I'll put the butter in it.
What are you cooking your rice for?
Huh?
Like I wouldn't want that in my jambalaya or in my gumbo or my etouffee.
No.
Like butter rice. I love rice, and I'll eat rice with salt, pepper, and butter. But, if I'm cooking a big pot of rice, it's going to go in a dish.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I do chicken and rice or something like that, that's what I'll do. But yeah, I just do white rice because your flavor's in the gumbo or the whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't butter mine for gumbo either.
But no, I like.
I did the potato salad the other day.
Oh,
in the
new
gumbo.
recipe?
No, in the gumbo.
Oh, in the gumbo.
You know about this?
No, what is this?
The people in Louisiana are doing it. they instead of rice, they're using potato salad.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know about this?
Is it already prepped and ready to eat potato salad?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so strange.
I know.
That's like a cinnamon roll and chili.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No. I don't believe it is.
It's just a weird.
Potato salad's not like a dessert.
Oh, true, but some potato salad's sweet. I don't know. That's weird, man.
It is.
I mean, I would not try it.
I'm just telling you, I tried it. I'm not like, ooh, I'm never going back to rice.
You did try it though?
Oh yeah.
Did you make your own potato salad?
No.
You just bought some?
Dude, it's hard to beat some of these store-bought potato salads. The deviled eggs potato salad. Have you ever had that?
Is that the one at Dillon's?
Well, they have them at Dillon's. They have them at Walmart. They have it everywhere.
I don't know. I'm not big on potato salad.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, I like it. It's just I'm picky.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The deviled egg potato salad.
Because there's some you buy. Ugh,
no,
nasty.
The whiter it is, I like the deviled egg ones are white mostly, but they've got some dill and some other stuff in there. It's really good. Otherwise, I want that mustard. Give me some.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yellow potato salad. Anyway, next time you make gumbo, you just buy a little dish of that and give it a try.
Man, I might.
I wasn't a huge fan because, rice is not adding flavor, and this added flavor, which threw me off a little bit. But
yeah, we've done it with cauliflower rice just to save on calories.
Cauliflower rice.
Yeah.
What in the world is that?
Okay.
It's cauliflower.
I've never heard of
what? It's ground up cauliflower. That's all it is. They call it cauliflower rice.
How do you make?
You put water in it and boil it, and you eat it like rice.
Well, you don't even have to do that. All you have to do is like heat it up, really.
Nuke it. I'm not a fan, but you've never heard of it?
I was going to say, I'm not. It doesn't sound not
rice.
It's not good.
I will say rice tastes 100 times better.
So why would you need cauliflower instead of rice?
Because it's carb free.
Yeah.
Oh, carb free.
Yeah.
Watching your weight, something like that.
How is it cauliflower is carb free?
It's a vegetable.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it has no carbs.
It's carb free. For people that go no carbs,
gluten free,
they eat
rice is gluten.
Rice is gluten free.
Is rice gluten free?
Yeah.
Learn something every day, folks.
All right.
On that note, Matt, the good word is learn. Proverbs 4:13. Always remember what you've been taught and don't let go of it. Keep all that you have learned. It is important. It is the most important thing in life.
Very good.
Yeah. So, in my case, those are two things that were taught to me when I was younger. The windows
and the wide eyes.
The wide eyes.
I thought of you this weekend, matter of fact, and that exact comment right there that you made, because I think you made it about a month ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Crazy eyes comment?
The crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Because you heard about the earthquake up in the New
Jersey,
New York area. And I'm in Kansas City this weekend, and my favorite station to watch when I'm up there, because you just have your basic cable. Mm-hmm. There's no Amazon Prime or whatever at the hotel, the Holiday Inn Express where I normally stay. And we just really like this hotel. So my favorite station there is local. It's a local sports network, so they always broadcast high school track, football, soccer, whatever it is. Well, they had the news on, and they were interviewing this lady. You could tell they chose this interview because she was the craziest one possible. And she had her little dog in her arms, and her eyes are just this big. And my bed was shaking, and this and this and that. And I'm like, oh, she's nuts. Like, I would not want to spend any time with that lady whatsoever. And it's because her eyes were, the whites of her eyes were like just all of it.
Yep.
And like the color part was so small. And I was like, she's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, where did they find her for this interview?
They're back there like, who should we interview? Who should we interview? That one.
That one right there with the crazy eyes. Get her up here.
All right. We'll learn Proverbs 4:13. Thank you, Matt, for that good word. Appreciate you joining us. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.